Despite being the only major candidate that was actively campaigning and on the ballot, Nikki Haley suffered what could very well be one of the most embarrassing defeats in the Nevada Republican primary. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today it is time to do a post-mortem of last night's presidential primary in the state of Nevada, because everyone, Nikki Haley, suffered what could very well be the most embarrassing defeat I have ever seen. In fact, this is the most hilarious election result I have ever seen. I mean, look at this. None of these candidates walloped Nikki Haley. Yes, Nikki Haley, despite being the only major candidate on the ballot, we'll get to why in a second, and despite being the only one actively campaigning, lost to no one. If that doesn't tell you how Republican voters really feel about Nikki Haley, I don't know what will. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Now, before we continue with the Republican primary, I want to quickly touch upon the Democrat primary that happened the same time. Yeah, the Nevada Democrat primary happened the exact same day, and Joe Biden, he got almost 90%. Not a surprise for everyone, though you cannot really compare this to past results because for those that don't know, Nevada historically has been a caucus. Back in 2020, it was a Democrat caucus, so you really can't compare turnout because, let's face it, a caucus is going to have far less turnout than a primary. That's just factual. Because a caucus, you actually have to attend something for a couple hours. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort, blah, blah, blah. It's not as simple as voting, you know. So Biden did get 89% of the vote. And people are going to say, oh, but so much for the Hispanic trends. He did great in Clark. Some of the worst turnout for precincts in the entire state came from Hispanic precincts in Clark County. So you really can't look at this result and say, oh, well, Biden did so good with Hispanics, he did so great in Nevada. Can you really say that when only 110,000 people voted? So while we don't have really any fair comparison for Nevada's presidential primaries, because this is the first time I think it's ever happened, it's usually a caucus. Well, we do have a comparison to 2022 for the Senate primary. Now, I know people are going to say, but this is a midterm and this is a presidential year and Biden ran as basically uncontested. I understand that, but this is the best comparison we're going to get. But in 2022, it was a midterm. It was an uncontested Senate race, and I think every race for the Democrat side was uncontested. They had 146,000 votes, and I know there's some votes outstanding in the state of Nevada, but is it going to surpass 146,000? I don't think so. I really think that you're going to end up with like 120, 130,000 votes, which the fact that it's less than a midterm primary, which I know is uncontested, but still, this is absolutely pathetic turnout. It does show there is a lack of enthusiasm for Biden, except for these hyper-partisan, orange man bad Democrats, which I know there's a lot of them, but it just seems like there are a lot of Democrats that are just not really tuned in right now. But either way, Biden did very good in the primary. Again, low turnout. He still had a very impressive performance on the Democrat side, but now it's time we talk about what everyone wants me to talk about, the Republican primary. Now, this is a very confusing situation for the Republican side. Now, you may be asking yourself, where's Trump? Why isn't he on the ballot in the Nevada primary? Well, long story short, the state of Nevada, they held a primary. Democrats, they went with it. The Republican side, they said, no. Whoever is on the primary ballot, you're not going to get delegates. That's what they flat out said. You're ineligible for delegates, and we're just going to do a caucus. So I think it's the 8th, which is tomorrow. They're doing a caucus. The Republicans in Nevada are. It's not ran by the state. It's ran by Nevada Republicans. And Trump's on the caucus ballot. But he's not on the primary ballot. Because if you're on the primary ballot, you can't be on the caucus ballot. And this is why I wondered, why the hell was Haley on the primary ballot? Same thing with Pence, Scott, which I know they dropped out, but they're still on the ballot. It's like, why are they running the primary when they're not going to get a single delegate, especially Haley? It doesn't make much sense at all. So Nikki Haley was the only Republican running. A major one, at least. I know there's a couple other ones like this bozo, this Castro guy, but either way, she was the only major candidate actively running that was on the primary ballot in Nevada. Everyone thought she was going to win the primary, or at least, do good enough, get like 50%. People really thought she was going to win. I thought she was going to lose to none of these candidates, which, for those that don't know, Nevada has on their ballots an option for none of these candidates, which essentially you waste your vote. It's like, we don't like any of these candidates. We're just not going to support any of them. That's the option. It's literally none of those candidates or none of these candidates. Well, Nikki Haley, despite the election having very bad turnout, which should mean that these voters are going to be more favorable for Haley, despite that, she got absolutely crushed against no one. She lost to a no one. I mean, just think about that for a second. I mean, look at some of these county results. Clark County, none of these candidates won by 34. I mean, look at this. 65. Lincoln, 50. White Pine, 45. And you even go to Washoe County, where Reno is, she lost by 13. I mean, this should be the part of the state she does best in. Reno is at least more of establishmentarian part of the state. You would think Reno would be more favorable for Haley, which it was. But she still lost by 13. She lost every single county to no one. And this was effectively a Trump v. Haley vote. Because who do you think's the people that voted for none of these candidates? Who do you think they support? Trump. So despite this being a proxy, despite this being very low turnout, which, again, should be people that were going to actually support Haley, despite all of that, despite being the only major one actively on the ballot, she lost by 33 points. Now, the Nikki Haley campaign, I guarantee it, they're either going to say absolutely nothing about this, when we all know they were going to say, we won the Nevada primary, we shocked the world. They were going to say that. They were going to announce to the world, we won the Nevada Republican primary, we have shocked everyone. Well, they lost by 33. So either they say absolutely nothing, or they're going to say, well, we didn't actually go against Trump here, so if it was against Trump, we would have done a lot better. I mean, this campaign is so deranged that they actually think they were going to somehow win the Nevada primary, despite the caucus, which, reminder, actually matters. They were going to say, we won the primary, we're surging. And they're going to use that as BS momentum to go into South Carolina and lose by 30 instead of 40. It was a scam. Why do you think Haley went only on the primary ballot? Why? Because she wanted to gain some kind of, quote, momentum. But she couldn't even do that. She lost to no one. So, I understand that these results in the grand scheme of the Republican primary don't matter. because the caucus will actually allocate delegates, and probably all of them for Trump. But it's still funny and pathetic that Haley couldn't even get. She lost by 33. She couldn't even win this. She couldn't even get within 10. She got crushed in every single county in the state, despite being the only major candidate even on the ballot. So, with the Nevada caucus being tomorrow, Trump is going to gain so much momentum from this. I mean, this is an embarrassment. The Haley campaign should just suspend operations right now. Because you cannot lie to voters and deceive them into thinking, well, you see, nothing bad happened in Nevada. We just shocked the world. No one believes that. Everyone that actually sees this, which, again, not many people will, the people that do see it, they're laughing at you. They think, man, you lost to no one? Despite being the only one on the ballot? Either way, we just gotta see what happens, but the Nikki Haley campaign demonstrates they can't even beat no one. They're not gonna beat Trump. They're not gonna get the nomination. It's a waste of time and money. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.